So this game is absolutely wild. You play as 13 different playable protagonists. It's set in the 80s, but there is time travel. There are kaijus. There are these large Sentinel mechs that they're going to be using in battle, and all of it is that they're trying to stop. As the prologue is explaining here, there's going to be an apocalyptic event that they have to sort of get together to stop. Hey guys, welcome back to PlayStation Underground. You got Kristen and Brett here, and we are checking out 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. This is coming to us from Vanillaware and Atlas. It's going to be out on September 22nd on PS4. Hey Brett, welcome back to Underground. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we are, we're trying out Undergrounds from home, so just a heads up for you guys, our audio might be a little bit different from what you're normally experiencing. And also just a heads up that this footage is pre-recorded. It was sent to us from Atlas. We are, getting an exclusive look at what 13 Sentinels is all about. So this footage that we're seeing right now is the prologue, and one of our heroines is about to reveal her mech.
I mean, if you're going to summon a mech, there's only one way to do it, and she nailed it.
Oh yeah. So this game is absolutely wild. You play as 13 different playable protagonists. It's set in the 80s, but there is time travel. There are kaijus. There are, these large Sentinel mechs that they're going to be using in battle. And all of it is that they're trying to stop. As the prologue is explaining here, there's going to be an apocalyptic event that they have to sort of get together to stop. So we'll jump ahead here and check out what some of the characters are like. All right, so May 1985, Sakura High School. So we're meeting our first character, the first of the 13 playable different protagonists. This is Joro Kurabe. And I just sort of wanted to give a feel of how this game sort of introduces the normal Japanese school life. It has a couple of the basic controls of just like getting to know other characters, how you can talk with them. But also it just shows off like Vanillaware's style is so beautiful. Like look at this like hand-painted looking world and like the sun coming up in the background. It's just, I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely their staple for sure. Or when you see Vanillaware, the first thing that kind of runs through your mind is this style. I think for me, I was introduced to it through back in the PS2 on Odin Sphere and Grim Grimoire, if anyone remembers that. But that style has just carried them through, or like been a signature of their games for so long that that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this video was it's a video game, and the best way to show this game is to show it in motion like this.
I was gonna say it's just a stunning game. So I like I love narrative adventures like this. So the game is sort of like half this like 2D side-scrolling narrative adventure, and you got time travel. The game is jumping between a bunch of different decades. There's like aliens, there's kaijus. This character in particular, he loves action movies and anime and stuff like that. And so some of these talking points that are popping up, he's chatting about movies that he's borrowed from his friend. And the game in general takes a lot of inspiration from sort of that era of just like 80s action and like monster movies and things like that. And so this kid's going to be in for a rude awakening when he realizes that he is going to be basically in an action movie himself. But
the dream of every kid in the 80s, I feel.
Basically. I like these like thought clouds too. It's a cool system that it's like whenever you're talking with someone and it seems like a keyword will pop up or something that can expand the conversation a little bit more. It sort of like creates this word cloud situation. I thought that was really cool. We'll see when another one pops up soon. But then, a mysterious girl in the middle. Sleeping in class, that maybe would have been me.
Added to the thought cloud. So yeah, like you were alluding to, there's obviously a mixture of the school portion, but then the action comes pretty fast, like once the game gets going.
Yeah, so it lets you get introduced to the different Sentinels, and at first, as you're getting introduced to them, it unlocks who you're able to play. And then a little bit farther in, we're going to dive into some of that top-down strategy battle, so we'll be able to see what that looks like.
Nice.
But first, let's see who interacts with this character. I like the flower in her hair.
I was going to say, she's been dozing too uninterrupted. Someone has to bust in here.
She's like, huh?
Well,
so this is the girl from the prologue.
The dramatic irony of, perhaps I already know she can summon a giant mech.
I had a weird dream. You were there too. Everybody seems to be dreaming about this mech apocalypse.
Man, is that a phrase yet?
Mechapocalypse? Ooh, it should be. Trademarked by Kristen
Did we just invent a thing?
Oh my gosh.
Surely not. Surely that exists somewhere. But I'm just absorbing these desks and like.
I know.
As someone,
I like just the way that they like breathe and like her hair is flowing and the way that they
there's
move
just so
through
much
the world.
life to the screen. Yeah, of not just the characters in the foreground, but in the background you see the trees swaying and just to have all these layers like on top of each other with all this, each with their own movement, and it just feels a little more lively than a lot of 2D sprite-based games. And I love 2D games in general. Like this being in '85, this is about when I was probably really realizing like, hey, I love video games. These things are great.
Seriously.
But they didn't have quite, obviously, anywhere near this level of movement and life to them. So again, that goes back to Vanillaware. It's such a treat to look at.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump ahead a little bit and see what else happens in Jiro's plotline. All right, and now it's after school. We're just walking home, hanging out. Oh, I love this like city backdrop too. I like the way that the light sort of flickers a little bit.
Yeah. Again, just this great sense of depth, despite it, again being 2D. It's not a 3D polygonal world you're navigating necessarily. It's but the way it brings all these elements together, lighting, movement, it's just really pretty. I feel like I've said that 5 or 6 times, but that's any of these games I'm just like, it looks good, and then all other thoughts just fall apart.
I love this conversation about like trying to get a video of this like kaiju movie, and just I miss going and renting movies. You're just like, if the one that you were trying to get wasn't there, you just pick up a new one and maybe discover something new.
Yeah, you definitely find your third and fourth choice of like, well, I guess I guess this monster is my favorite one this weekend.
Who's this guy? What's going on over here? Jurokan. So a quick note for folks too. So we're listening now with the Japanese voiceover, but when the game launches, it will come with full English voiceover, full localization. It will be in English, but for now we're enjoying the Japanese voice work.
Yeah, I feel like it fits the backdrop for me. I'd want to leave that in. Wow.
When your hand just starts lighting up.
Okay, I've definitely seen my hand flash start before, so that checks out.
Oh, is he about to find his mech?
I mean, this is the very desirable student who finds out they're secretly very important, or like a part of a bigger thing at work here. And I can scarcely think of a cooler, oh my god, it turns out I'm important, then I can summon a building-sized robot.
I love his friend. He's like, send it back. Oh, it seems like his friend knows a little bit more than he's letting on, actually.
People
all right,
will notice.
We got a quick intro with Jiro. Let's check out one of the other 13 Sentinels that we'll get to play and see what her storyline's all about. All right. So now we are joined by Natsuna Minami. She is one of the other 13 Sentinels. She's part of the track team. She just got off of school. Quick context here. So we didn't want to show the whole thing because we want to leave some secrets for folks, but she is big time into aliens. Nobody has really believed her that UFOs exist, that aliens exist, things like that. But while she was at school, she randomly, stumbled upon an alien, and the alien was like, hey, you should go to this place. And so she's meeting up with the alien to see like what the deal is. As you do, as you do in high school.
I question her immediate, yeah, I'll see you there.
I love this little dude though. His name is BJ, and he's adorable. But yeah, so I just wanted to, time travel is a big element of this game. I'm pretty sure they jump between like 5 or 6 different decades. So this is one of the first examples of them jumping through time.
And off we go.
Where will he take her?
It looks forward in time, at least.
So it looks like we've gone forward to the apocalyptic future that they have to try to avoid. Don't you hate it
Why
when
have
you're
you
just
dragged me here?
you're just going to your track meet, just living your life, and next thing you know.
She's taking it very well.
That is true. Could
like,
be a
huh.
lot worse, I guess.
Well, it looks like a war. I don't know. What do you want to do now?
日本時間17時40分政府発表がありました
So presumably this all builds to battling in the giant robots to prevent this apocalyptic future, one would think.
So it sounds like, the apocalyptic future involved, there's these like giant robots, there's aliens of the non-BJ variety. There are kaijus that rise up. So it sounds like you're time jumping, and you guys, the 13 Sentinels, basically, they each have one of those giant mechs. Each of them is individual. They have different types of powers depending on like which version that they have. And all 13 of them have to work together to try to stop it, basically. So we're going to see a little bit of combat in a bit. I want to see a little bit more about her story. Well, she's super into aliens, so she's probably read all about it. Yeah, see? All of her keywords: UFO mysteries, Men in Black.
Yeah.
Oh, but they have an extra arm. What are you gonna do? Sounds like it. It does sound like that is the goal. But what will BJ tell her? Oh, I think this is how she becomes a Sentinel. There it is.
Apologies. I guess yeah, you wouldn't want to lead with this. Like, hey, you can control a robot. It's like, let me set
Probably
up
need the context first.
Yeah, it's like, let me set up this big problem, and then you think, well, what can I do? Hey,
Yeah.
turns out
Well, you know
you
what?
are uniquely qualified.
Why don't we hop into one of those Sentinels and check out what battle's like? All right, let's do this. Let's get in our Sentinel.
I've been waiting to blast missiles and blow up buildings. Let me go.
She's like, what am I doing here? So this looks like the kid that was in Juro's clip, that he was sort of had the glowing forehead, and then after Juro touched it, he was like, oh, why is my hand glowing? So it seems like he sort of knows what the deal is with these Sentinels. But as he's about to say, so if you notice, there's say G3. So there are 4 different types of Sentinel classes. There are 13 different players that you can play with, and I think at the most you can have 6 different players in your party at a time. But of those 4 different classes, they're called like different generations of Sentinels. So they're Gen 3, which is like long range specialists. But then first gen, it's like melee combat. Second gen, it's sort of like an all around, but they can also like summon support. And then fourth gen can like fly and use like these like high tech lasers and shields and stuff. But these folks, their 2 Sentinels are all about long range combat. So there's some encroaching kaiju that they have to try to stop destroying the city. So we'll see how they take that on. I like this like digital looking style of it all.
Yeah, to represent almost like targets on their map or something. They'd be represented by little radar symbols that are, instead of a green blip, it's like this.
Yeah.
I also like, as you're describing the different generations, like hearing them listed out, it sounds almost like, and it corresponds with the generation thing, where like the first gen of a giant robot probably would be like, it can only punch. Second gen can do a little more. Third gen, long range specialists, we've been able to create weapons and long range tactics. And then fourth gen, now they can fly. So yeah, it just seems like as this war went on, technology allowed them to make better and better mechs.
Yeah.
Or Sentinels,
Man, so he just knocked them out in one go. That electromagnetic round. So it sounds like he has. They have the long range laser. So the one that he used, it's that if they're all lined up in one go, you can just knock them out.
That's cool.
That's cool. If you don't use it carefully, you might end up messing stuff up. Oh, but now they're all spread out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's like different conditions for how to fight. So it's this like turn-based back and forth. What will she use? Nice. I love that. Alright, so he can also target
Nice.
individual ones, it looks like. Because you got your big boys and then you got your little, like, workers. Called the G-moles. I like this entire screen. It's really interesting because it's sort of like juxtaposed against like the like hand-painted, like serene looking world that they exist in.
Yeah.
And then it's like once they're in their Sentinel, it's like we're on the map, like we're ready to destroy.
Yeah, I like the use of the way the HUD. It's not like it's in first person or anything. You in the suit necessarily, but it conveys the sense of you being in a suit or in a tactical position.
Yeah.
With the various like you mentioned, the way the enemies are designated in these icons, like it's not literally the monster, or like you see there, you see like a representation of it as if you're looking at a tactical screen or something, and kind of fighting remotely. It's an interesting way to approach it. Yeah.
So it's interesting. There's all these different types of mechs that they're also fighting against. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the combo of
Ooh.
the future.
We're about to
there
get some
are
friends.
Oh, nice.
Nice. All right, so here are the two characters that we saw. Our friend that was sleeping in class and Jiro have joined the battle. Nice. So it looks like they're both Gen 2, so they're a little bit more all-around help.
Oh, like
And they're all
support
just
class?
freaking out because they didn't know everybody else was a Sentinel. Nice. So yeah, so they're a bit more of a support class.
Okay.
Oh. They're gonna help. Interesting. Okay. Nice. So now they got 4 people in their party. They can spread out a little bit more. And it looks like their defensive attacks are a little bit less, like where those long range attacks seem to be much more like a very straightforward shot, or it's sort of like a laser beam. Like these ones are a little bit more about like moving stuff into place. Nice.
Yeah, and different like area of effect, like impact,
Yeah.
crater kind of things.
Yeah. Well, I like that it has that, like, for a second there it was showing like an even higher level map for stuff that you couldn't see directly. Oh, you can intercept missiles. Even cooler. Ugh.
Yeah. This is us watching the footage, so we can't go back. Blam. See, that looks really fun. Like, keeping your eye open for enemies lining up that way to take them out. That looks really fun.
Yeah. There's no better feeling. Like, turn-based games are always something that's like, there's no better feeling than when you perfectly line up, like, okay, now this character will do this, and then I'll do that, and then I'll do this, and it's like bang, 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 back and forth.
Yeah.
That you just knock them completely off the map. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, and then the flip side of the whiffing the starting like having this elaborate plan in your mind, whiffing the first part of it, and then it going completely south and starting a disastrous chain of events. Which I'm always scared of, but I don't think that's going to happen in this fight. Looks like they know what they're doing.
Well, it looks like they only have one more to take out. Oh, did they do it? I think they did it. Victory! Nice. All right, well, they're going to have to do that a whole lot more to continue to save time and save, their city and save the world from that apocalypse. But this has been 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. So again, it's going to be out on September 22nd on PS4. Can't wait to play.